Hare Krishna Mataji, I'm Shobha here. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Vraja Jaya Yamuna Dhira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Rajajanaranja Yamuna Dhira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna
Thank you, Mataji.
Dandavat Mataji अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय श्रील
Hare
प्रभुपाद
Krishna.
की माताजी
Hare Krishna Narayan Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Pranams.
Pranam Mataji. Yeah. Sorry, I got stuck in some other link I had gone to. Looks like I had a long link. Okay. So we'll start. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraet Nashtaprayasha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavati Ruttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Om Agnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Parishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gauravakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so we are supposed to read from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 16, Praise of King Prithu by the Professional Reciters, verse 14. Asya pratihitam chakram pruthor amanashachalat vartate bhagavan arko yavat tapati goganaihi. Translation. Just as the sun god expands his shining rays up to the Arctic region without impediment, without being impeded, apratihatam. The influence of King Prithu will cover all tracts of land up to the Arctic region and will remain undisturbed as long as he lives. So, who is Prithu Maharaj? What kind of avatara is Prithu Maharaj?
Prabhuji, a
Partial expansion of the Lord.
Okay. Technically, what is it called? Yeah, he's a Shakti-avesha avatar. So what Shakti was he imbued with?
Palana Shakti.
Palana Shakti.
Bhupalana Shakti. Bhupalana Shakti. Okay. So because he had this Bhupalana Shakti, he was the Lord empowered him with this power. So he remained undisturbed. I mean, nobody could check his influence and reign. Of course, this is also true of so many other great devotees. Maharaj Yudhishthir, Prithu Maharaj, then Parikshit Maharaj, so many other great devotee kings, Rajarshis. They're all Rajarshis, Raja and Rishi. So that is what is expected of leaders, isn't it? Especially administrators. They're supposed to be Rajarshis. Now, as I was reading this verse, one word which caught my attention. Have you heard this word anywhere else? Apratihatam? Anybody?
1.2 shloka, Prabhuji.
Which one?
1.2.6 shloka. Savai
Yeah.
pumsa paro dharma. Yato bhakti radhokshaje. Ahaitu apratihata. Jayatma suprasidadi.
Okay, very nice. Very nice. Okay, what is the meaning of apratihata there?
Unconditional, Prabhuji.
Oh, okay.
Without break, Prabhuji.
Without break.
Uninterrupted.
Uninterrupted. See, impeded is there, no? Impeded means interrupted. Apratihata means uninterrupted. So can somebody tell what is the meaning of uninterrupted devotional service?
Without break, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Consistency. Okay, what does that mean?
Regularly, without stopping. Regularly, I have to
regularly. Okay, so which means suppose I'm doing 10 minutes devotion every day. Is that apratihata?
Without any deviation, distractions, Prabhu.
Yeah, what does that mean? Again,
Without
like,
ending all the activities.
when you answer my questions, you have to give me very practical because I want to follow whatever you're going to say, right?
Dovetailing all the activities in Krishna's.
continuously, Prabhuji, now without
deviation
stopping.
from
By the way, what is dovetailing? So whoever said, what is the meaning of dovetailing?
We have
You know what is the meaning of dovetailing?
Without expecting the result.
No. Once again, dovetailing.
Connecting every activity to the Lord.
Connecting every activity to the Lord. You know what this is called? In technical terms,
Yukta Vairagya.
this is called karma yoga. See, please understand some of these words, no, we have to be very, very careful. Unfortunately, it's used all over the place. There's a difference between, okay, you only tell me, is there a difference between doing whatever pleases Krishna versus whatever I'm doing, I'll do it for Krishna? Is there a difference?
Yes.
What is the difference? So I'll repeat myself. One is doing whatever pleases Krishna. What is this called in technical terms?
Bhakti Yoga.
This is called Bhakti Yoga. Whatever pleases Krishna. Doing anything and everything that pleases Krishna is Bhakti Yoga. Doing something and offering it to Krishna.
Karma yoga.
This is Karma Yoga.
Yeah, so this dovetail is Karma Yoga. Okay, so dovetail is good when we are in very initial stages of our bhakti. You know, someone wants to play guitar and they want to dovetail their, you know, propensity to play great guitar in Krishna consciousness. So what they'll do? What will that person do? He wants to dovetail.
He can
He
play
will-
They
for
will sing
Krishna.
Mahamantra.
He will
different
play
tunes.
guitar. He will play guitar along with kirtan,
Kirtan.
right? Or whatever. What does Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say about kirtan? What are the allowed instruments in kirtan?
Mridanga and Kartal.
Mridanga, kartal and janjar, that big wamper, right? Now, so which means traditionally Krishna consciousness kirtan or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's kirtan did not have guitar. So when I bring guitar into this kirtan, it becomes dovetailed. Now, if I want to really please Krishna and I am music, you know, I'm a musician, what should I do?
I should use only
You have
what
to
is
play
I should
Mridanga.
learn to play a mridanga or a
Kartal.
kartal or whatever is approved. You got the difference between dovetailing and doing something to please Krishna?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank
Yes,
you.
Prabhuji.
So, yeah, so don't use this word dovetail. Dovetail is not bhakti. Pure devotion is not dovetailing. Pure devotion is doing whatever it takes to please Krishna. Anyway, so the question I was asking, apratihata. So what is uninterrupted? Uninterrupted is not dovetailing. Uninterrupted is not also regular. Right? Somebody said consistent, regular,
Continuous.
continue. What is continuous? What is continuous?
Throughout day and night.
Throughout the day.
See, understand, very simple. Uninterrupted and unmotivated. Unmotivated means what?
Without expecting anything.
Without material motivation. Without material motivation. We'll keep it simple so that, you know, it registers in, it should, these things should register in our, you know, consciousness so that we don't get confused. We should not get confused because these are all foundational, right? So unmotivated simply means without material motivation. Uninterrupted. Why does our bhakti get interrupted?
Deviations.
Get disturbed, Prabhuji. When we get
So-
disturbed.
Circumstances.
So, okay.
Unexpected circumstances.
Okay, one by one you'll have to answer. So first
Because of
question is,
some
what is the
unexpected-
definition of interruption? First tell me, what is the definition of interruption?
Without break.
Yeah, without break, literally without break, which means how many hours in a day?
24 hours.
24 hours in a day. This is uninterrupted. Okay. Now, what does this mean in reality? What does it mean?
Prabhuji. Continuously, always
No, you-
doing
What does
consider
it-
Haritoshna.
What does it mean?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, doing
Yeah.
nothing other than seva to Krishna.
Oh no, we're doing nothing other than seva to Krishna. Okay, excellent. How practical is this
To
for
be in
us?
Krishna consciousness, Prabhuji.
To be in
24
Krishna
hours.
consciousness. Okay, what does that mean?
Always think of Krishna in whatever.
Always
we are
think of
doing.
Krishna in whatever we are doing. Okay, so just let's think about it now. All of us, we have our own stuff we are doing in our lives, right? So somebody is working, somebody is doing their household responsibilities, etc. How are we uninterrupted?
Yes,
No,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Uninterrupted. Okay, very nice. So then you should be
No,
giving class. I
Prabhuji,
should not
always
be giving class
interrupted.
because
We
my
are
devotion is
interrupted.
not uninterrupted. My devotion is interrupted. So if it is uninterrupted, it's very nice. I mean, it's a very, very high standard. It's a very high standard of devotion. Uninterrupted literally means that there is, Bhagavatam says that except for self-preservation, meaning I have to live. For living, whatever is required, we should only think so much about material activities, only for living, nothing more. Okay. And also that living means you tried to get food. If you didn't get food, you're not worried about it. You're just continuing devotion. This is uninterrupted. Okay. It's a very, very exalted stage in devotion. So uninterrupted means that irrespective of what material circumstance comes, we are fixed in devotion. Now, obviously, how will this happen? How can this happen? Now, all of us have different duties that we are trying to do, etc. How can we remain uninterrupted in our Krishna consciousness? Because we have to do, no? Arjuna also was fighting. Arjuna also had to fight, right? Was his devotion interrupted?
No, Prabhuji.
Why was it not why was it not interrupted? He was also fighting, no? He was doing his duty.
Krishna says, na
He
Prabhuji,
obeyed
Ma
the
Manusmara
instructions,
The
Prabhuji.
He
orders
took
of
the
Krishna.
words of Krishna.
Oh, please, I have to now become moderator now. Everybody is answering at the same time. I've told I'm not Ananta Shesh. I can't hear multiple answers at the same time. Okay, Nandini Mataji.
No, he was doing the orders of Krishna. So he was fighting because of the order
Okay.
given by Krishna.
Okay. What else?
Krishna
Abide
says,
by the
Prabhuji,
instructions of the spiritual master.
By following instructions from spiritual master. So we have to understand this, right? See, the only uninterrupted actually means that one is directly we are doing, yeah, like you said, whatever Krishna wants or whatever Guru wants directly, right? Then that is uninterrupted. Okay. Now, suppose say you're doing, say some people are going and they're working, right? Whatever they're working in our office, whatever, right? They're in a job. Now how does this person become uninterrupted in devotion?
Setting up priorities.
What does that mean? I have to work.
First finishing, first chanting the holy name.
No, chanting ho gaya pa.
And,
Chanting morning I
what
finished
are all the-
chanting, I did my reading, then I went to office.
To have
Right.
Krishna in his thoughts and remembrance of
Arey, if you worked in a software, for example, I was in a software job. Shobha Mataji seems to be in some office, right? How easy is it to think about Krishna when you are a manager, you're calling your people saying that come, why hasn't this been done? Or you're a software engineer and you're programming, saying that you're trying to
It's
achieve
difficult,
something.
Prabhuji. No, while
It's not
working, we
possible.
can't. Yeah,
It's not possible.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
One second, let me come to it. Arjuna, when he was fighting, he's pulling out his arrow. He's not saying Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare, right? So we should understand, saying that, see, it's the one is if the work is directly given by Krishna, then it's okay, right? Otherwise, the way we have to develop this uninterrupted mood is by taking on something big in Srila Prabhupada's
Varnashrama
service.
Dharma.
That is fine. That is fine. So yes, perfect. Shobha Mantaji, thank you. I've talked about Varnashrama Dharma multiple times, so I'm happy to hear Varnashrama Dharma. Yeah. So when somebody goes into Vanaprastha, automatically you go into this mood of uninterrupted service. When in Grihastha, if you are in Grihastha, then what you have to do is you have to take up something so big that it actually occupies your consciousness. Like it's so big that you have to continuously think about it. And then what happens? Then you get interrupted from that. Your work will interrupt that. Meaning your work will say, okay, now I have to, I have a meeting now, right? Okay, I have a meeting. I'm now doing the meeting. Now, as soon as I get free from that meeting, where does that mind go? To that goal that I need to achieve. This is uninterrupted. Because even when you are doing a meeting, that thought is there in the, running somewhere in the background, right? Or you're sleeping also, that thought is running in the background. Only by living like this can we do uninterrupted mind in Grihastha. Of course, when you go into Vanaprastha, then it's straightforward, right? And that's what is recommended, right, to be done. So this apratihata is very, very interesting. It has to be complete absorption. We have to take up something which will absorb us. If we are just worried about our own devotion, yeah, I'm going to do my chanting, I'm going to do my reading, that's okay. That's not going to create any form of absorption because it's already like a burden. Now every day I have to chant 16 rounds, every day I have to read. It's not like, but when you take up something, big for Srila Prabhupada, it could be your part of a preaching, some congregation where you want to preach. Maybe you're preaching to children, maybe you're preaching to women, maybe you are distributing books, right? Whatever it is, it should be big also, somewhat beyond our comfort zone, beyond our abilities. Then we become absorbed. then we can become absorbed. Then our bhakti, our devotion will be uninterrupted. Then what happens? Yayatma suprasidati. Then the Atma will experience happiness. So I was discussing this last week in some class. I was talking about Kama esha krodha esha rajoguna samudbhavaha. Mahashano mahapapma vidyena miya vairanam. So Krishna is telling Arjuna, saying that this Kama is the problem, right? And it's going to destroy you, Arjuna. And then in the course of the discussion, one question came up, interesting, saying that why are people not satisfied in their lives? It's a digression from what we are discussing, but just because of this uninterrupted, unmotivated, and that verse, I'm just connecting that. So why are people in the material world not satisfied? People are running behind material desires. They get so many of their desires fulfilled, isn't it? All of us also, right? From many years now, we've been whatever, right? It could be somebody wanted to study in some college, somebody wanted to do some degree, somebody wanted to get some kind of job, somebody wanted to get married to some kind of a person, then family, then property, then blah blah, whatever, right? We've had desires over the past, and we've been able to fulfill these desires. And people are also fulfilling their desires, but they don't seem to be satisfied, right? Why are they not satisfied? It's a secret, huh? It's a top secret. And you can go and tell this to everybody, every person. Just tell, saying that you are never going to be satisfied with running behind your material desires. You know why? Anybody? You should know. I mean, these are all things we already know, but I'm just
Thinking that we are the enjoyer.
okay. So what is the problem with that?
Prabhuji,
Because
nourishing
we have
keep on increasing. Even if we satisfy one desire, we
But
will
why?
start liking others.
But why? But why? I'm
Prabhuji,
asking
when
why.
we
It's
don't have
attachment.
Krishna attached to our happiness, then it is a
Expectations,
temporary
Prabhuji.
happiness.
Oh, one second. Shilpa Mataji.
Yeah, Prabhu, when we don't have Krishna in our happiness, we are enjoying
But
without
why?
him, it
But
is
why? My question is why?
Our
Why is it there is no
expectations,
happiness?
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna
Why
Prabhuji.
Rajogunam,
expect?
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Because we are
Simple.
not the enjoyer at all. Krishna is the
But
enjoyer.
why? Okay, so we
It
should not
doesn't
try to
make us
enjoy it.
happy.
We are not meant to enjoy. We are
Hey,
only
Doesn't
meant
make
to
us
no. Obviously, hey, please don't. We should not get philosophy wrong. We are absolutely meant to be happy, right? Because we are Sachidananda.
Prabhu, our soul's constitutional nature is to be attached with Krishna, and only then it will be happy. But
So
here,
why? You know the answer.
Happiness is
because we are
temporary.
parts and parcels of Krishna, Prabhu.
Okay, so yes, you're getting there slowly. Okay,
So,
let me explain in the interest of time. Anyway, I know all of you know the answers. When I say, you will immediately say, oh yeah, I knew this, right? So it's not like some top secret, but it's just a different way of looking at it, right? See, we've heard this, right? 101 of Bhagavad Gita is saying that I am not the body, right? I am not the body, I am spirit soul. Now, what I am doing when I'm trying to fulfill material desires, what am I trying to fulfill? What am I catering to? I'm catering to the body. I'm catering to the body, right? Even if I cater to the body, because I am not the body, I'm not satisfied. Understand? Material desires are meant for giving happiness to the body, right? And because I am not the body, I am not satisfied by that. That is simply like saying I have a plate of prasadam in front of me. I'm hungry, and then somebody, my son or daughter is sitting beside me. What am I doing? I'm taking prasadam from that plate and feeding them. What happens to my hunger? My hunger is still like that only, right? So feeding the body is not going to satisfy me because I'm the Atma. And that is the reason, how much ever you run behind material desires, it's never going to satisfy you because you're the Atma. Now, unfortunately, devotees come into Krishna consciousness and also running behind material desires. Do you think it's going to make you happy? It's not going to make us happy. What is going to make us happy? Ahaituki apratihata yayatma suprasidati. You got the connection between second chapter of Bhagavad Gita and this devotion, verse on devotion. It's basically, see, because we are the Atma, even if we do part-time devotion, it's not going to make us happy. It's not going to keep us satisfied. It's going to make us happy for the duration that we do that bhakti, for that time we are going to remain happy. But as again, out of that devotional setup, and we are again going, oh, my life is like this, I didn't get it. That is because we are not doing uninterrupted, unmotivated service. So if you want to really experience happiness in life, you have to do uninterrupted, unmotivated service. Okay, anyway, it's a super digression from this verse, but okay, just thought it's important. Okay, moving on. Ranjayishyati yallokam ayam atma vichestitaihi athamum ahurajanam manoranjanakai prajaha. The king will please everyone by his practical activities, and all of his citizens will remain very satisfied. Because of this, the citizens will take great satisfaction in accepting him as their ruling king. दृढव्रतः सत्यसन्धो ब्रह्मण्यो वृद्धसेवकः शरण्यः सर्वभूतानां मानदो दीनवत्सलः. Very nice words. Dridavratah, determined. Satyasandha, always situated in truth. Brahmanyo, lover of Brahminical culture. Vruddha Sevakaha, servants of the Vruddha. Sharanyaha, one who has to be taken shelter of. Sarvabhutanam, of all living entities. Manadaha, one who gives respect to all. Deena Vatsalaha, very kind to the poor and helpless. Amazing qualities. Somebody's lifted their hands. Can I complete these words? Or you want to ask? Or is this from past? Andre,
No,
Shubha
Prabhuji,
Mataji,
usually
Shilpam.
the format is that the participants read.
Read,
So they just
my
Yeah.
class, unfortunately, you will not be able to because I interrupt myself in the middle. So please forgive me for that. Okay. Okay, so here the king will be firmly determined. So see, these are qualities that a devotee has to develop. It's very, very important. We have to be firmly determined. Any verses, any references you can remember?
Dhruva Maharaj Prabhuji.
Yeah, okay, Dhruva Maharaj. Rupa Goswami.
Bhagavad Gita,
Yeah, okay, Bhagavad Gita, yeah.
Vyavasayat,
Okay,
Vyavasayat.
Vyavasayatmika Buddhi, okay. Ekya Kurunandana, okay, nice, okay. Utsaha, Nishchaya, Dhairya. Right, so this determination, and Bhagavad Gita also talks about this determination. Anybody remembers in terms of modes of nature? Modes of material nature?
Satvaguna Prabhuji.
Yeah, Sattva Guna. The determination in Sattva Guna is something which is firm on, if there is a vow that has been taken, the person in Sattva Guna will be fixed in his vow. So this is a quality of Sattva Guna. Okay. And also Satya Sandaha, always situated in truth. Now it's not truth convenient based on the situation. Okay, let me ask you this now. One trick question. There's once one Brahmana. Okay, so this Brahmana had taken a vow not to tell a lie. Okay, and then once it so happens that his house was on the outskirts of a village and forest somewhere on the border. Once one businessman comes, he comes running, and he is like a big box of suitcase full of money or something, and he's coming running, and he tells this Brahmana saying that some thieves, some dacoits are behind me, so please, I want to hide somewhere from them. The Brahmana says, okay, no problem. Just go in behind these trees here in the forest and they won't be able to find you. So the Brahmana goes. Then what happens? These dacoits come and they ask the Brahmana, where is this man who is running away from us? He has a lot of wealth and we want to steal it. Then Brahmana had taken a vow not to tell a lie. So what did he do? He just showed, saying that, yeah, he's there. Okay, then his Brahmana, then of course those dacoits catch hold of that businessman, then take his wealth and then just kill him. So then this Brahmana lives his life fully, full without telling a lie, and then he dies. And then he opens his eyes, and then where does he find himself? Where does he find himself?
Maybe in
Hell
Narak.
Narak. Yes, he finds himself in Naraka. Why? Why did he find himself in Naraka?
He was the cause of business
He became responsible for
the businessman's death.
he was an innocent man. He didn't have to die. Right? He could have just protected someone's life from anyway dacoits who are bad people. Right? So truth, always we have to understand when to, how to, but that is only for people who are Krishna conscious. Like for example, somebody was asking me saying that, okay, they want to join on a yatra, and then they went to their office and said, like, I want to go on this yatra, I need 1 week leave. Boss said, no, we can't go. And then the devotee came to me and he was like very upset, saying that, my boss is not allowing. I said, you should just told a lie. Right? So we should understand saying that even telling truth, it should be for a higher cause. If there is a higher cause, and it's not man-made cause, our own cause, it should be as per Shastra, if there is a higher cause, or if ordained by Guru Sadhu Shastra, then even we can use lies also for Krishna consciousness. But it has to be done with judiciousness. Like somebody needs to know whether it's right or wrong. We cannot just be whimsical about it. But Prithu Maharaj was situated in truth because he was the complete ruler of the whole land, and everything was literally externally under his control. So he didn't have to tell lie to anybody. Right? And he was situated in truth. He will be a lover of Brahminical culture. Very, very important. Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hidayacha. And first thing Kamsa did. What did he want to do? That he wanted to destroy Brahminical culture. So this is very, very important. So all of you know, right, that there is something called a second initiation in ISKCON. Who are those people who can actually get second initiated? Okay, let me ask you one more simple, but it's going to agitate many of you. Who can worship deities at home? Who can worship deities at home?
Initiation, Prabhuji, Brahminical initiation.
Brahminical initiation. Okay. So who can get Brahminical initiation?
Those who develop Brahminical qualities, Sama, Dhamma, the 8 qualities in Bhagavatam.
Yeah. Okay. Very nice. One more thing. What is one of the qualities of a Brahmana? In terms of earning money. How does a Brahmana earn money?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yajan, all that he has to do.
Yeah. And Brahmana doesn't have a menu card. So 2 things the Brahmana doesn't have. One is he doesn't have a menu card, which means this puja, this much. He doesn't have that. Second thing is he doesn't, put his hand in front of somebody saying, give me money. Meaning this is salaried people. Salaried. All of us who are salaried, we go literally stretching our hands out, and somebody has to put money, right? Which is Shudra profession. Now, people who are actually engaged in Shudra profession should not actually ideally become second initiated. Ideally. But sometimes, practical considerations, I think all these rules are put to a side. One who has Brahminical qualities or who is desirous of developing those qualities should become a Brahmana. And we should be desirous of developing these qualities. Prabhupada, actually, there are multiple quotes. So just for all your information, His Holiness Bhakti Vikas Maharaj is his next book. So one book is going to come up in the next 2 months, which is called Mood and Mission of Srila Prabhupada. So you will understand what Srila Prabhupada actually wanted to do with ISKCON. Then there's one more book which is going to come in the future, which is called Vaishnava Culture, Etiquette and Behavior. So in this, Maharaj is actually delving into a lot of topics like this. So one is just Brahmanas. Who is a Brahmana? What is the qualification for becoming a Brahmana? What are the qualifications for becoming Brahmanically initiated? What are the duties of a Brahmana? Etc. etc. Right? So this is as per Shastra. So these books are going to be very important because a lot of devotees are pretty much confused with respect to what is right, what is wrong. And we don't have to go with the crowd. We don't have to go with everybody else. Okay, everybody else is doing, I am also doing. We don't have to do that. Right? We can, if you want to, we can follow strictly these principles. So anyway, so the important thing is Brahmana is somebody who is really qualified, right? He's the leader of all the other varnas. He should be philosophically very strong to be able to guide people. It's not like traditionally there was nothing like a pujari Brahmana and a preacher Brahmana. They were not two different people. And there's only one person only who is qualified to do pujari services also and also can preach. Because Brahmana by definition means Brahma Janati iti Brahmana, right? So he knows that is not the body, his spirit, soul, and he knows the philosophy. So he should be able to preach. And preach doesn't mean that, okay, big classes, right? You should just at least be able to communicate to somebody saying that don't do sense gratification. So previously when qualified pujaris used to come to do puja at home, even today they do. For example, if you do Satyanarayana puja at your home, if he's a qualified pujari, he will tell katha, he will explain the significance, he'll explain so many things, right? So that is actually the role of a Brahmana. He should be philosophically qualified. Right, so yeah, and Maharaja Prithu was a lover of Brahminical culture and is to render all service to old women and old men and give shelter to all surrendered souls. Sharanyam. What is that? Another verse? Sharanyam. Sharanyam gato mukundam paryartakritam. Devarshi bhutapta nrinam pitrinam na kinkaro nayam rinicha rajam. Sarvatmanaya sharanam sharanyam. Gato mukundam paryartakritam. So it's saying that those who have surrendered to the Sharanya Mukunda, they don't have any obligations. Deva Rishi Bhuta Aptan Rinam Pitranam. No obligations. And quality of who is the one who can be taken shelter of, whom can be surrendered to. In Ramayana, this comes actually. And there are two qualities for one who can accept surrender, who can accept surrender, is one is he should have the ability to give protection. And the second is he should have the compassion to show that ability or use that ability. Right? Some people might just have ability to give protection, but they don't have compassion. And then also we should not surrender to such people. And the Supreme Lord has both these qualities. He has the capability to accept or surrender and is also compassionate. So we should surrender to Supreme Lord and also those exalted Vaishnavas who are, so mercifully accepting our surrender, so that they can protect us, guide us, direct us. But we have to surrender to them. We have to take their instructions, take their guidance. And such surrendered souls are always protected by those who are giving that shelter. So Prithu Maharaj was giving shelter to all the living entities, and he was capable and he was compassionate, and he used to take care of all his citizens. Giving respect to all, he will always be merciful to the poor and innocent. So this is also very important. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, what are the different types of aparadh? Different types of aparadh.
Nama
aparadh. Okay. Nama aparadha, seva aparadh, Vaishnava aparadh. Then there's one more.
Brahman aparadh.
No. Nama, seva, Vaishnava, and then there's one more which is called Jiva aparadh. Okay. So this Jiva aparadh, Bhaktivinoda Thakur actually gives this. So he says Jiva aparadh means doing violence to ordinary jivas. So if you do violence to ordinary jivas, it's called Jiva aparadh. So we have to be very careful. So we have to respect all. Pandita Samadarshinaha. You have to see everybody on the platform of the soul, but we should treat people based on their material situation, right? For example, we respect, even a lion. We respect a lion because it's a soul, but we don't go put our hands around the lion, saying that I'm going to be friends with all, right? So we should deal with them based on the bodily covering, whatever the body that they have got. But we should respect all jivas. We should respect all jivas. So these are all actually very, very important qualities of a devotee, whatever Prathu Maharaj qualities that are being described here, right? Very, very important. Okay, by the way, I just saw one message on the chat. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, we use now new technology, new ingredients and new dishes in prasadam and new ways of preaching in the service of Krishna. So using new musical instruments in Kirtan may also please Krishna. Okay, how would the others want to answer this?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah.
I think we are using that because we like it. We are not doing it for Krishna. The whole purpose is for Krishna.
Perfect. Right. See, for example, we think that these things are authorized, right? We are allowed. For example, today, pizza prasadam. What do you think about pizza prasadam?
It is for our enjoyment, Prabhu.
Yeah, it's for our enjoyment. Pizza is like rice, for example, in South India. Pizza is the food for whom? Some people in some parts of the world who require them, right? Like Italy and those parts of the world where it is their staple food, right? Now, we should not. And what does Krishna eat? What did Prabhupada
Patram pushpam phalam.
No. Then this will say, okay, this is also food, right? But for example, what did Prabhupada instate all over the world as prasadam, standard prasadam?
Sattvic food.
What did Prabhupada eat?
Khichdi.
No. No, Prabhupada used to eat rice, chapati, sabji, dal, kachori, gulab jamun, rasgulla. No pizza, no pasta, none of these. And it also there are instances when devotees used to make this and offer to Prabhupada. Prabhupada used to just like taste it just so that just to keep their sentiments. That's all. But he used to joke saying that these things Krishna will not like. So we should not speculate about these things. See, we should be very careful about what we are doing as in devotion.
Prabhu, eating pizza, we have to eat prasadam only to maintain our body. So eating pizza is going out of our way to satisfy our senses.
No, but that's see, if you go to Italy, you can't say that, right? Technically. But even for people in Italy, Prabhupada gave chapati rice only. Chapati rice, dal sabji.
Yes.
Saying that this is Krishna's culture. This is Krishna's culture. Now today, just imagine all temples, all ISKCON temples. If you don't have chocolate, they sell chocolate. I have no words, right?
Prabhu, even cheese is tamasic, no, like chocolate. Even cheese.
No, Prabhupada was okay with cheese in the sense, he said if you want to eat meat, instead you eat cheese. Right? Cheese and all is not, actually it's not even for our body type, first of all, right? These are not like, ghee is what is more recommended for us than cheese, right? Which is also, Prabhupada says if you take that ghee and then you heat it, like something he says, like it will give you the same taste or something like that. Anyway, I'm not a cook or I don't have too much understanding of these things. But the thing is that, we have to eat what Krishna eats in Goloka. Anybody knows what Krishna eats?
Every day
milk preparations.
Simple, whatever Prabhupada used to eat. Whatever Prabhupada used to eat. Because Prabhupada will eat whatever Krishna eats. Anyway, Bhaktivinoda Thakur sings this Bhogarthi. You can go through that. Maybe we won't be able to understand, even 5% of the dishes there. But if you really want to become innovative in our cooking, please go and try and understand Bhogarthi and try to prepare those dishes. That will please Krishna, because our Acharya is saying that this is what pleases Krishna. Okay, but let's not speculate about these things because it's not going to help us. We're not going to get anywhere, right? We can just be here, and it's all dovetailing. It's all mixed bhakti. That's all. It's all mixed devotion, right? We're just trying to fulfill our material requirements also in the name of bhakti. But that's not the top standard. It's not that it should not be done. Meaning, it's better than not doing bhakti. That's why it's called dovetailing, right? But those who want to be pure devotees, okay, why should we become pure devotees? How many of you want to become pure devotees? You want to raise your hands? Yeah. So what does pure devotion mean? What does pure devotion mean? I know all of you want to become pure devotees. I'm just
Hare
like
Krishna, Prabhu.
yeah.
Then how do we explain Chappan Bhog, Prabhu?
What is Chapan Bhog? That is for the pleasure of the Lord. What do we explain? There's
No,
nothing to
then we
explain.
say if Lord doesn't eat all that, then I
Who
mean,
says Lord doesn't eat all that? Arey Baba, what is this?
no, meaning
Hmm.
we just discussed that what does Lord eat in Golok is what
Yeah.
Prabhupada ate in the.
Yeah. So Lord eats, no? Why Lord is not eating? What is Chapan Bhog? It's just the number of items, right?
No,
Yes.
Prabhu, for Chappan Bhog means cookies, we make cakes or pastries, all
Oh,
also
no.
come.
That is modern definition of Chapan Bhog.
Yeah, that is what my meaning was,
number,
Prabhu. In the temples
Oh,
also,
Chapan
Prabhu.
Bhog simply means the number of items.
But in that number of items, Prabhu, in the temples also there are various.
Oh, yeah, that's what I just said, right? Pastries and chocolate
Yes,
and
Prabhu, all that.
pizza and pasta. This is my is my number of, one of those in the count, Chapan. What does Chapan mean?
56.
Yeah,
56
that's all.
items.
That's all. Is there anything? Is there any description of what that 56 has to be? It should be whatever pleases Krishna.
No. Yeah.
That is the Chapan. It's just that not 5 or 6 items. It's 56 items. But anyway, what was my question? So pure devotion. What is pure devotee? What does it mean to be a pure devotee?
Anyabhilashita Shunyam Prabhu.
Yeah, Anyabilachita Shunyam.
Anukulyena Krishna Anushtana.
Anukulyena, very importantly. Anukulyena, right? Anukulyena means not whimsically, not just the way I want. It has to be in the footsteps of previous acharyas. You know, Anukulyena mean in the footsteps of previous acharyas. So we can't speculate about these things. Please. If we are doing that, then we can't be on the platform of pure devotion. This is called mixed devotion, Mishra Bhakti, otherwise also called Karma Yoga. Yeah, only Indian Sattvic dishes. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Right. And that's what Prabhupada wanted to teach, isn't it? When Prabhupada allowed his Western disciples to go into the kitchen, what was he doing? He was standing there and telling them how to make kachori, how to make samosa, how to make dal, how to make chapati. That's what he was teaching, right? He didn't go in there learn how to make pizza, how to make pasta. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is discussion about cakes. It's not the Western cake. You're aware, I guess, all Matajis, right? Many of you should be aware.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, so we have to understand this, right? There's also soup also, right? Soup. Where Krishna talks about soup? Krishna talks about soup. Did you know that?
No, Prabhu.
No, Prabhu.
Go to Krishna book, Govardhana Leela. Okay, go and read that part, Govardhana Leela. When Krishna is telling the Nanda Maharaj and Vrajavasis what all they should offer to Govardhan. They say soups. So absolutely whatever we are used to in India, these are all things that traditionally Vedic culture, not India. I mean Vedic culture, which has been retained to some extent in India, is what we need to follow. And similarly, every aspect, that is why I said every aspect of devotion has rules and regulations and guidance by our previous acharyas. How many of you know that we are ideally, should harmonium be used in kirtan or not? Yeah, these are all things that mostly devotees are not aware, right? So we just do what we think whatever is being done is pure devotion. Unfortunately, it's not. It is only if pure devotees are doing it, right? If pure devotees are doing it. For example, so harmonium is not allowed in kirtan. Harmonium is allowed in bhajan. What is the difference? Okay, do we know the difference between kirtan and bhajan? Traditional usage. It can be used interchangeably, but what is kirtan?
Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
Kirtan is Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
And bhajan is Vaishnava
Vaishnava
songs.
songs.
Vaishnava songs are bhajan. In bhajan, you can use harmonium. In kirtan, you are not supposed to use harmonium. Why? See, there is
Because
a reason.
Kirtan is Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we have to listen the sound of the
We have to focus
words.
on the
We
nama.
don't have to see the
Yeah, we have to
jingle
focus
of
on the
the
nama, not on the raga. So when devotees, of course, great devotees, great Vaishnavas like, Loknath Swami Maharaj or so many great exalted Vaishnavas, whose focus is completely on the nama, they can use whatever they want. We should not imitate them. Are they there? Are we at their level of consciousness? No, then we should not imitate them. We should follow in their footsteps, right? Because what happens, I've seen devotees who use harmonium, every 2 lines, the raga changes. New neophyte devotees, right, who are not at this exalted state. So what happens, the focus goes not on the nama, focus goes on the raga. So it's not recommended. Now this is a basic rule, guidance given for neophytes like us, so that we can make progress in devotion. So let's not, we should be careful we should not go blind. Don't accept anything and everything that's happening around you as ideal. Read Prabhupada's books. Then you will be able to make the difference. Read his letters. Hear his conversations. Then you will be able to differentiate what is right, what is wrong. Okay. Interest of time, I'm just moving on. I'm reading the translation of the next verse. One more verse to finish. The king will respect all women as if they were his own mother, and he will treat his own wife as the other half of his body. He will be just like an affectionate father to his citizens, and he will treat himself as the most obedient servant of the devotees, who always preach the glories of the Lord. So this is very, very important. I learned mother looks on others' property as garbage in the street and treats others as he would treat his own self. So this is Chanakya Pandit. This should be the standard of education. Education does not mean having academic degrees. One should execute what he has learned in his personal life. These learned characteristics were verily manifest in the life of King Prithu. Although he was the king, he treated himself as a servant of the Lord's devotees. It's the most important thing to learn. What happens when we serve? What kind of devotees we have to serve? What is the guidance Shastra is giving about how we deal with other devotees? Narada Muni specifically is giving this guidance. So he's saying that we should make friendship with peers. Those who are at the same level of spiritual advancement as ourselves. We can be friends. What about those who are looking up to us for guidance? How should we deal with them?
Compassionate.
With compassion. We should guide them. And one of the aspects of compassion, you know what, is when a dependent is doing a mistake. Somebody who's dependent on us, on our guidance, when he's doing a mistake, what should we do?
Guide them.
Correct them.
Guide
Yes.
them.
Correct them. We should correct them. If we are on the material platform of material compassion, then we'll say, oh, if I say this, maybe that person, devotee, will feel bad. So I won't say. That's material compassion. Such person who is on the platform of material compassion is doing a mistake on the spiritual platform by not correcting his dependent. So compassion means having the humility to guide others. all gurus actually talk about this in ISKCON, saying that it's not a Vaishnava role to be a guru, because Vaishnava is supposed to consider himself a servant of servant of servant of servant of servant, right? But guru is a master, so it's not natural to the mood of a Vaishnava. And all these exalted devotees who are playing the roles of gurus are such exalted devotees that they can't actually, they are coming down from their level to a lower platform to play the role of a guru. And they say that it is only humility, out of humility and willingness to follow our guru's instructions, that we actually are correcting other devotees. But we should correct, because that is humility. Not correcting is not humility. Correcting is humility. Then those who are more advanced than us, what should we do?
Respect them and pay obeisance.
No, we should serve them. All this is external. Respect them, pay obeisances. All that is a given. Yes, that is all part of etiquette. But most importantly, we have to serve them. We have to serve them. And how do we serve exalted devotees?
Their instructions.
Yeah, by Vani and Vapu both. By Vani and Vapu both. So when the Vaishnava is not physically in front of us, then we follow their instructions in the form of Vani. And when that Vaishnava is there in front of us, fortunate enough to give us, service through which can be rendered through this body directly, we should take that. We should take that with both arms and do whatever it takes to please the Vaishnava. And what does it mean to accept Vani instructions? How do these instructions come to us? This is important for those who are those who are initiated and also those who are on the path. How do the instructions of Guru come to us? Again, very commonly misunderstood topic. Sorry?
Their lectures, Prabhuji.
Oh yeah, lectures. So don't expect Guru to have a face-to-face, one-on-one meeting with you to give you instructions. Whatever Guru is speaking in his lectures, in general addresses, are all instructions for all his disciples and also others also, but definitely for disciples, right? Or sheltered devotees, etc. Many times I've seen devotees hear Guru's lecture, and then there is a very clear direction, but I see nobody doing anything about it. That means we are not surrendered at all. You know how much time Prabhupada took to prepare himself to follow his Guru Maharaj's instructions?
10 years, Prabhuji.
So many years he worked on it. But he never forgot the instruction. Just because he did not act on it immediately doesn't mean that he forgot Guru, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's instructions to go to the West and preach in English language. He prepared himself. It took him so many years. That is the mood of a surrendered devotee. Maybe the instruction given by the Guru is way beyond his or her ability. But now that will become the sole Vyavasayatmika Buddhihi. It will become the sole reason for his existence. How can I fulfill this instruction of my Guru? This is absorption. This is going to take us back home, back to Godhead. So please don't take these things lightly. These instructions are all very, very powerful. Even one individual instruction, if we can stick to, we will go back to Krishna. We will achieve perfection. Okay. The last verse. The king will consider all embodied living entities as dear as his own self, and he will always be, increasing the pleasure of his friends. He will intimately associate with liberated persons, and he will be a chastising hand to all impious persons. Mukta Sangha, Prasangaha. Mukta Sangha, meaning those who are materially, material people. Mukta Sangha, free from such association. And he will always intimately associate with liberated persons, and that we discussed already, right? How we have to associate with what category of devotees. Okay, I think I'll stop here. It's 10:30. If anybody has any questions,
Devotees,
comments.
anybody has question, please raise hands. Yeah, Chitra Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, in all, while we try to follow the pure devotion, most of the time we find it very difficult to transcend the modes, Prabhuji.
What does that mean,
So,
Mataji? Can you give an example?
no, actually, because we are with the Rajo Tamo, most of the time we are in Rajoguna, no, Prabhuji. But at the same time, we are trying to do pure devotion also. So there is a clash, I feel, most of the time, Prabhuji, how to
No, so I'm trying
transcend
to
and
understand what is that clash? What are you speaking about? See,
Prabhuji, when we are in profession and whatever
profession.
is the
Okay.
sadhus qualities, we
Okay.
know what are the sadhus supposed to possess,
Okay.
but we are not able to,
Got
right,
it.
Prabhuji?
Got it. Okay. So yeah. Okay. Thank you. Because otherwise we can understand every question in different ways. So I require little clarification. Okay. So yeah, those who are working, then how do we how do all these things, what all these qualities happen? Yeah. So difficult question. So difficult answer. May not be easy to digest, but think about it. Right? See, Bhagavatam, second chapter. Actually, I request everybody to read this chapter some 100 times or more. They just keep reading these verses again and again. First canto, second chapter. Okay. What is that word? Dharmasvanushtita pumsam.
Vishwakseno katayusaha na
Katasuyaha.
utpadayet yadiratim shamayevehi kevalam. Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
very good. Mataji, you only answered your question. What does it mean? What does that verse mean?
Any activity what we perform which does not create love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead is simply a waste of endeavors and effort.
Okay. Yeah, not love directly, but now utpadayat yatirathim vishwaksena kata. So if it doesn't develop, if you don't develop attraction to the messages of the Lord, Prabhupada translates it as messages of the Lord, of the Supreme Lord, then Shamayevahi Kevalam. Okay, actually. You want me to go through it 10 minutes, those few verses? Do we have time?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay, heavy,
Yes,
heavy.
Prabhu, we have time. We have time, Prabhu.
I'm putting a disclaimer. Super heavy verses, okay? But it's in the second chapter of the first canto of Bhagavatam. So we're not expected to miss it. It's not in the 11th canto, so that we just say conveniently we just miss this 11th canto. We not come till 11th canto. Okay, so okay. Okay, I want to share this. What is this? Suddenly so many people are trying to reach me. Okay. So this is what I quoted. Dharma svanushtita pamsan vishwaksena katasuyaha notpadayadiyatiratim shamayevahi kevalam. Occupational activities. You're talking about work, whatever, etc., etc. A man performs according to his own position are only as much useless labor if they do not provoke attraction for the message of the personality of God. Okay, this is clear. Meaning that if your job or whatever you're doing is not giving you time, is not letting you develop a taste for reading Srimad Bhagavatam, then you're in the wrong job. Okay. Now, so don't ask any questions till I finish these verses. Dharmasya hyapa vargasya narthorthayopakalpate narthasya dharmaikantasya kamo labhaya hi smritaha. Now, those who engage in occupational duty, vritti, considering that the previous statement has already been factored in, which means that your job or whatever you're doing is helping you develop an attraction to the messages of God. What should you do with this job? How should you look at your job? All occupational engagements are certainly meant for ultimate liberation, not for what? Now, Sukadeva Goswami, Sutta Goswami is saying, They should never be performed for material gain, not for labha. Furthermore, according to sages, one who is engaged in the ultimate occupational service should never use material gain to cultivate sense gratification. So simply what does this mean? That you should not work for labha or kama. What should you work for? Moksha. Okay. Now, that's why I said these are all very dangerous verses. कामस्यनेन्द्रिय प्रीतिर्लाभो जीवेत यावता जीवस्य तत्व जिज्ञासा नार्थो यश्चेह कर्मभिः. What about desires? Desires also should not be directed towards sense gratification. Meaning desire should be directed towards Supreme Lord, not for sense gratification. If at all we want to have a desire, what should we desire? Only healthy life or self-preservation. Why? Jivasya tattva jignasa, because human being is meant for inquiry about the absolute truth. Nothing else should be the goal of one's works. So now these verses are giving you an understanding of what kind of, if at all, whether you should work. If you work, what kind of work, job you should do. Now, these instructions we can take seriously only if we are clear about the goal of our life. If the goal of our life is Krishna, then we would want to follow this. Because this verse is saying that your idea is only self-preservation. Idea of working is to self-preserve, meaning what do we need for self-preservation? What do we need for self-preservation?
Food, rest.
Yeah, just basic things. In today's world, these basic things, 3-4 people family in city, how much money is required for these basic things? Basic things. Yeah, food, sleep, shelter. Of course, shelter. Nowadays, shelter means condominium and 3,000 square foot house is not basic. We're talking about basic. How much will we require? Practically. I'm not saying come to the road. Right?
15,000, Prabhu.
Yeah, I'll give it like 20,000. Yes. Okay.
20,000.
Yeah. Sumbangala Mataji. Okay, take some more. Right? Take, suppose say, okay, you are spending 20,000 for rent only or 25,000 for rent. Still not more than 45,000. Still not more than 45,000. And I don't think anybody here, at least in this forum, requires, especially except for, of course, I'm not some people have situations, right? Maybe there's a single mother. Maybe some people have taken a lot of loans before they came into Krishna consciousness and they have to repay. Now, all these reality situations are there. We respect all that, right? But don't willingly go and entangle yourself. If you willingly go and entangle yourself, you are not going to be able to come out of it. And then all our life, we will keep going on saying that, I wanted this, but I didn't get. Devotee never repents. One of the qualities of a devotee, he never repents. He never does anything which he will subsequently go and say, no, I shouldn't have done this. Why did I spend so much time working all those years and I wasted that time? So take your life's decisions thinking what you will say about these decisions 10 years hence, 15 years hence. Don't take decision just forced by today's circumstance. And Bhagavatam is not recommending that everybody work. When we talk about Varnashrama Dharma, it's not Stri Dharma at all to work. Like I said, unless somebody has a need. Absolute need, yes. But there's so much to be done in Krishna consciousness, which only mothers can do. Today, children, we want to give Krishna consciousness to children. Who can give? And not just your own children, to the society at large. It's not natural for men to kind of handle children. It's not in their nature. Of course, it's not that it can't be done, but it's more natural for Matajis. No, you have the opportunity to change the face of the whole civilization by preaching to mothers, women, and to children. You want a bigger goal than this to achieve? Somebody was talking about they want to achieve something through their profession. I said, how much maximum can you achieve? You tell me. Can you become CEO of one company? Okay, great. Can you become CEO of 10 companies? Can you become a chairman? Okay, fine. Still, is it any near to pleasing Krishna? By just following his instructions. So we have to know what we want, right? That's all that it is, right? And helplessness is also not a sign of a devotee. Devotee never feels himself or helpless because he knows Krishna is protecting. Why should I worry? I'll follow whatever he's saying. Anyway, difficult question. I said difficult answer. So more doubtailing answer or what should I say? Practical. To be practical, you're impractical. Okay. So to be practical, what can we do is to try and reduce Rajoguna at work. Meaning, some we can apply some principles of Bhagavad Gita in our work. I used to work, so I can talk about all this. It's not just that I'm some brahmachari and I don't understand what working people go through. Of course, I've worked for many years, so I know what it is. We get perturbed when we don't achieve results, right? Because we are worried about our promotion, our future. Don't worry about all that. Just do your duty sincerely. Just do your duty sincerely, and whatever comes, just accept. Whatever comes, just accept. Today morning we were reading about Jada Bharat, morning class. And Jada did not even respond when he was taken in front of that goddess Kali. He knew that he's going to be like topped off. He didn't even react. So we can learn from these great devotees, right? We don't have to just keep quiet. Okay, we can do our work, but don't take it too much to heart. Just do it as a matter of duty. Put in whatever bare minimum is required. Don't work for promotion. Don't work for... These are the things which will spoil us. Otherwise, we don't have to go behind Rajoguna. We can just work. It's fine. And so I can say all this because I was vice president in a company and I know what it is to be under pressure, right? And I never used to bother. I should just do my work and say, that's it. This is what it is. And of course, Krishna is so merciful that he gives you intelligence way beyond whatever natural intelligence is to help us achieve whatever is required so that it doesn't affect our bhakti. But I want to tell one thing to all working Matajis, Prabhus, whoever, right? The goal of our work should only be to try and follow Bhakti Vinod Thakur's instruction. You know what is Bhakti Vinod Thakur's instruction? I've talked about this before. 8 years, 8 hours of devotion in a Grihastha life is Bhakti Vinod Thakur's instruction. You know what I used to do? When I started Krishna consciousness, I was at 2 hours chanting and half an hour reading, 2.5 hours. When I heard this instruction from then on, the only mantra in my life was, how do I increase this? That's it. And yeah, in parallel, my position in my job also increased. I grew from a manager to a vice president, but my goal did not change. And my commitment towards my Krishna consciousness did not change. I'm not showing off, but I'm just saying it's possible. It's possible. If you want to do it, Guru and Krishna will give you the mercy. Just saying that, okay, how do I increase 2.5 to 3 hours? And Mataji especially, I don't know. I mean, really, I offer respectful obeisances at your lotus feet because you're managing your house, work, Krishna consciousness. I mean, I would say that you have 4 hands, right? You can't do this with 2 hands, right? It's just not possible. I told this to my wife. She was also working at one point of time, and I told her saying that, boss, like, you're just killing yourself. Just forget it, right? Why you want to no time to sleep? At 10 o'clock in the night, children are sleeping. Then I have a con call now. I said, like, boss, what is this? You sleep at 12 o'clock, you get up at 5 o'clock, then you want to chant, you want to cook, you want to take care of children. How much ever I want to help, there is limited. I wanted to help sincerely, right? But I had my own limitations. So I just told her saying that, why are you so stressed out? What do we need money for? And one thing changed our life. One time our daughter came and asked my wife saying that, you are not available at all for me. And that changed everything for us. We said, like, we are not working for the future. We want to make sure that we have a relationship with our daughter. And then we just said, fuck it. We had so many loans, blah, 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 all that. We said, Krishna is there. We'll go with this. And Krishna never let us down. He took care of everything. Right? So it's just your faith in Krishna and what you want to achieve in life. It's very simple. It's a serious message. You should know that, right? Whenever you call me, it's a serious message. Right? So you'll get the serious message because that's what I carry. I don't know anything else. I don't know entertainment. Right? So I can't give anything else. This is all I know. This is what I follow and I can share. Okay. Anything else? We're already like 15 minutes past 10:30. Anything
Thank you
else?
so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, in a situation where I have to work for my basic things only.
Yeah,
So
you
in
should
that
work.
situation, same thing happens, and because I'm a single mother, and my son comes and tells me you're not spending time with me, I am not able to because I have to do bhakti, and then work also it goes till 10, and I can't even avoid that because that is my I'm working only for the basic needs. So in that situation, what to do?
Yeah. So, wow, I mean, yeah. So one is, how old is your son?
He is 22, Prabhuji.
22?
Yeah.
Okay. And he doesn't understand that you're working to actually, take care
No,
of.
for working, he doesn't, he says that
Okay.
you are already working a lot and you're not, I'm having fits also, that problem. So he is telling me, why do you get up early and do all this Krishna for chanting and all? That's what he is telling me. You have to take a good sleep. Why are you getting up early and doing all this?
Okay.
So
That
in
is
that
also,
way,
okay. That is simple to explain to him, saying that if he still doesn't understand the importance of Krishna consciousness, you need to just focus on helping him understand why Krishna consciousness and pray to Krishna. See, especially if he has, this, if he has a health problem, etc. You have to make him more sensitive to the realities of life, right? Because he's already suffering with something, right? So, and he needs to understand why that has happened to him. What is the reason? Who is protecting us? You should tell him, saying that you think I am running the house. If I'm not worshipping Krishna, then we don't even know what is going to happen to us. At the age of 23, if he's reasonably intelligent, he should be able to understand. And your role should be to give a practical understanding of why we have to take shelter of Krishna, right? You have to help him understand, right? And I mean, I'm sure there'll be other experienced devotees in your congregation, senior Prabhu Matajis, who can possibly try and help him understand, right? But it's important for him to understand, especially because you said that he has some health problem, right?
Yeah.
He needs to be able to understand and appreciate Krishna consciousness in his life, and he should thank Krishna for letting you take care of things for your family.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please bless us, Prabhuji.
Yeah, no, we pray to Krishna, Prabhupada. He'll always answer our questions. You should not have any doubts at all. You pray to Prabhupada, you pray to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu. They will always bestow mercy. No conditions. And especially if you want to do, with a good intention, good heart, to please Guru and Krishna, they will absolutely. They're all behind us. They're all behind us. They're all with us. So just have that faith and go on. Things will be okay. Don't worry.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Okay.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I have a very basic question, but that has always stayed with me, so I just wanted to ask with your permission.
Yes.
Is there any difference between Brahmanas and Acharyas? There is, I know, but I can't
Yeah, I mean,
pinpoint as in.
Acharyas, okay, so we need to understand Brahmana up to the stage of sannyas is within the Varnashrama. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, or Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyas. So Brahmana, Sannyasis are ideally just part of Varnashrama. Okay. Now, beyond this Varnashrama is a Vaishnava, right? A Vaishnava is above the Varnas. Now, a Vaishnava, in Vaishnavas, generally there are some very special Vaishnavas who come to teach the world, right? And I am giving a very simple example, right? Some simple understanding, not technical answer. And they are technically called acharyas. Those who are guiding others by their own action is called an acharya. Acharya simply means a person who guides others by his own action, showing the way, showing the path. He's an acharya. Ideally, all Vaishnavas have to be acharyas. We are all acharyas at home. For example, we are teaching our children, our dependents, how we have to live. So we should also become acharyas. But then there is Jagat Acharya, right? Jagat Guru, right? So these are exalted, empowered souls like Srila Prabhupada who will come and want to guide the whole world. right? But everybody is an acharya. Some are given, like Krishna wants them to do much bigger responsibilities than others. But anyone who preaches by practice is an acharya. Is that okay?
Yes, my only confusion was, Prabhuji, that Brahmanas don't preach by action.
Yeah. So Brahmanas are, that is why Brahmana is the lowest, is like entry level for the spirituality, right? It is the Brahma Bhuta, right? Brahmanas are the entry level for spiritual path, right? And Vaishnava is above Brahmana, and Acharya is the exalted Vaishnava.
Understood, Prabhu. Thank
Okay.
you so much. That was a lot of clarity. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Okay.
I don't think there are any more questions. Can we end the class, Prabhu,
Oh,
with
yeah,
prayers?
sure.
Vancha kalpatarubyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Jai, thank you very much.
Krishna.
And again,
Thank you.
Hare Krishna to all devotees.
forgive me for my heavy, as usual, heavy barraging
Prabhu, no,
words.
whenever you
as
come,
usual.
there is lot of clarity. It's only that we find ourselves again below neophyte also in your classes.
No. So again, I want to clarify this. Every time I come, I speak and I want to clarify. The qualification is the intent, not the stage we have reached. The intent that we have is the qualification that Krishna is looking for. If we intend to become pure devotees, that is our qualification, not that we should have already reached the platform of pure devotion, because I have also not reached myself. But I have a very sincere, clear intent to become a pure devotee. And I'm trying to take that path. And that's all Krishna looks for, and he absolutely appreciates the struggle. This is austerity. These are all austerities, tapo. Prabhupada says, tapo divyam. This is tapo divyam. This is the transcendental austerity that we need to take up for the pleasure of Krishna, right? And he's simply pleased by our sincere attempt. If you forget everything that I have said, just remember two words Prabhupada says. For a devotee who wants, he was serious about going back home, back to Godhead. Only two qualities are required: sincerity, seriousness. Sincerity and seriousness are only two qualities we require, and we will make progress. Okay, it's not my qualification or not my position. I'm just repeating what Srila Prabhupada has said in his book. That's all, simple, right? So we can all go. We'll all go together with pure intention to please Krishna and Guru. We'll go back to Godhead. Okay.
Prabhu, when do you have your Bhagavatam classes? What time on the day?
8:20 to 9 every day morning. 8:20 a.m. to 9 a.m. Okay. If at all you want like serious daily hammering, I tell all the devotees on the group saying that this hammering is for me and for everybody else in the group, because if we don't hammer ourselves, then we will be nowhere, right? So better hammer ourselves with Prabhupada's words on a daily basis. It's a good dose to keep us on our toes. At least those devotees are attending, and of course for myself also I get benefited, because so many realizations, so many things, so many questions come up, and it's just very enriching.
Prabhuji, can we get the link, Prabhuji, of your
Yeah.
class?
Okay, I can send it. I had sent it previously to Narayani Mataji. I have a group wherein I also read, when I read from Srila Prabhupada's books and commentaries of other acharyas, etc. I keep posting. I think some devotees here on this group are already part of that.
Hare Krishna. English study group and ISKCON Holy
Yeah,
Mom.
English study group. I think Mataji has got initiated, so I'm not able to recognize you. Yeah.
Suma Mataji, Sumangala Mataji,
Yeah,
if you could put that in the...
Yeah, you can share the English study group. So there are two links that come. First one is my morning group, which is a Zoom link. There's one more which comes in the evening, which is just a reading session, which a bunch of devotees are reading. You can ignore that. Because some days if the class is not there, I communicate on the group, etc. And you will get other no spams, right? So it's only either the group message, class messages, or something that I am sending, which will come on the group. So generally it's useful whenever it comes. So the WhatsApp group, Sumangala Mataji, you have the WhatsApp group, right?
Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, you can share the link, or if you can ping me, I can share you the link to join the group. I don't know if you have. I just see if you have if you can take the copy the link. Otherwise, I can send it to you if you just message me.
Prabhuji, I'll message.
Can the link
Yeah.
can the link be sent in this group, Prabhuji? This
Yeah, so I'll send it to Sumangala Mataji so she can circulate. I hope it's not violating some rules, etc. set up by, I don't know, whoever has set up this group. You know, I
So
don't want people.
Sumangala Mataji, you can take permission from Narayani Mataji before doing or
Yeah,
putting the
because I
link
don't want
probably.
it to be like, you know,
Yeah,
because
so we should
devotees in
not
ISKCON
be.
have this fear of people hijacking devotees. So I'm not in this business, first of all. Right. So you can just please ask whoever, and so that we don't hurt anybody's sentiments. Yeah.
Mataji is also very kind, Prabhuji. They'll help Prabhuji. I'll do
Yeah.
the need.
Yeah. So I don't know what ICF is, so I'm just saying, I don't know. I mean, you know, I don't want it to hurt anybody's. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna to all
Hare
devotees.
Krishna.
Dandavat
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you so
Hare
much.
Krishna, Prabhuji.
I'll end the class, Prabhu.
Yeah, please.